Hello to you, our viewers. You're watching Rwanda Television. It is once again time for the news. With me, Serge Nhore. We'll begin with the headlines. President Paul Kagame has arrived in Ankara, where he is set to join other leaders on Saturday for the inauguration of that country's president. President Faustin Touadera has met with a joint force of CAR's armed forces and Rwanda bilateral force in Bangui. Prime Minister Dr. Edouard Ngirente is currently in Rwanda, Angola, where on Saturday he will be attending the 10th International Conference on the Great Lakes region. Now the details. Thank you for taking the time to join us. Now, as we begin, let us tell you that President Paul Kagame has arrived in Ankara, Turkey, where he is set to join other leaders on Saturday for the inauguration of President Recep Tayyip Erdogan of the Republic of Turkey. Now to the Central African Republic, where President Faustin Touadera has met with a joint force of CAR's armed forces and Rwanda bilateral force in Bangui Camp Biel. He hailed the Rwanda bilateral force for the support and collaboration in maintaining security in that country. Prime Minister Dr. Edouard Ngirente is currently in Rwanda, Angola, where on Saturday he will be attending the 10th International Conference on the Great Lakes Region Extraordinary Heads of State meeting on behalf of His Excellency Paul Kagame. The meeting will bring together top officials from all 12 member states of the ICGLR. Now to matters back here home. Let us inform you that the plenary sitting of the Senate has adopted the draft revision of the Constitution initiated by the President of the Republic. The move comes after each article of the revision was examined, and it was noted that no major changes were made to the draft that came from the Chamber of Deputies. It will now return to the Chamber of Deputies to be voted on before making its way to the office of the President of the Republic for his signature before coming into effect. Staying with parliamentary matters, Rwanda is going to be the first African country to host the UN Conference on Landlocked Developing Countries. The third edition of the conference will take place from the 18th to the 22nd of June next year, bringing together more than 5,000 participants from around the world. Rabab Fatima, the UN Under-Secretary General and High Representative, has met with Rwandan parliamentary officials to discuss the preparations for the conference.
I'm very confident. I think Rwanda has very good conference facilities. Rwanda has also been hosting very important regional international events. Last year, I know that you held a meeting of the Commonwealth Heads of Governments and many other meetings. So in terms of your conference and other facilities, I think that they're there. And we from the UN will be working very closely with the host government and your different entities to make sure that we put in place the best arrangements for a very successful meeting. This is the first time that the United Nations LLDC's conference will be coming to Africa and hosted by Rwanda next year. It is also a very unique situation because the current chair of the LLDC's group is also from Africa, Botswana.
With the parliaments of participating nations expected to play their part in the preparations of the major conference, Rwanda's parliament has also been called upon.
They showed us their ongoing preparations and also expressed the desire that the Rwandan parliament play a role, as well as other parliaments from elsewhere. We will discuss with them what sort of role we will play, and things must be properly planned, and we will coordinate with all other concerned authorities to make it happen and get the desired results as representatives of the people. So we must plan this accordingly.
Before meeting the Speaker of Rwanda's parliament on Friday, the UN Under-Secretary General had first held a meeting with Dr. Vincent Biruta, Rwanda's Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, also to discuss preparations for the third UN Conference on Landlocked Developing Countries. Now, the Honorable Chief of Justice, Dr. Faustin Nteziryayo, has noted that Rwanda will make sure that there is a promotion of alternative dispute resolution mechanisms and the capacity building of practitioners in this field. We have the details with Betty Mutoni.
Rwanda branch launched.
Chartered Institute of Arbitrators opened its Rwanda branch. This is the first step in establishing training and networking opportunities on a domestic basis for dispute resolution professionals, as it is explained by Atanazi Rutabingwa. The CRB Rwanda branch explains.
This is going to help us to make sure that we have so many cases that being going to court now being diverted to arbitration, mediation, and reconciliation. The other role that CRB Rwanda is going to play is to support the growth of the recognition of Rwanda as a seat for international arbitrations. This is what we are putting forward as CRB Rwanda, to make sure that while we've been taking most of arbitral matters to other jurisdictions, we shall be making Rwanda as a seat of arbitration, international arbitration.
Dr. Chikwendu Madumeru, CRB UK representative, noted that Rwanda should have professional arbitrators who will resolve disputes at international level.
So you should be looking beyond Rwanda in your practice. You should be looking beyond Africa in your practice. You should be looking to practice across the countries of the world. That is why you're a member of the Chartered Institute.
Minister of Justice and Attorney General of Rwanda, Honorable Dr. Emmanuel Rugirasheru, stressed that Rwanda will do everything possible in promoting arbitration in Rwanda.
I do hope that despite the difficulties that you will meet, because those are given when you are starting any project, we do hope as the government of Rwanda that you will sustain and continue in this move that you've started today. And we will support you with whatever means that we have at our disposal.
Opening CRB in Rwanda will provide an opportunity to network and interact with other international institutions in arbitration, as it is explained by Honorable Chief Justice Dr. Faustin Nteziryayo.
Rwanda has embarked on an agenda of creating a favorable and competitive business environment. Thus, the work of CRB Rwanda branch, a professional membership organization affiliated to the CRB London, will contribute significantly on this front as it expands and develops opportunities for training, networking, and information exchange, and collaborates with the Rwandan judiciary and other justice institutions to enhance the administration of and access to justice. As you know, negotiated solutions are vital for the effectiveness of regulatory system, local, regional, and international trade.
CRB is an independent charitable membership organization committed to supporting effective resolution of disputes. Today, CRB has 23 branches connecting more than 17,000 members. Betty Mutoni, RTV News.
Thank you, Betty. While emerging technologies continue to play a crucial role in various fields, telecommunication companies are also on a journey of leveraging these emerging technologies to drive innovation and digitalization. Now, during an exclusive interview with the president of Ericsson, RBA's Olivnet explored more on how they are leveraging these technologies to ensure digital growth here in Africa.
We believe a lot in the power of digitization, innovation, and connectivity in order to propel economic growth, in order to create a society which is more inclusive and provide equal opportunities for all. So we collaborate with multiple partners in Africa in terms of how do we build that digital skill set. So some examples, if we start with education, which is really a basic tenet, and that is we are collaborating today with UNICEF in what is called their GIGA project, which is a global program to eventually connect all schools to the internet and enable a digital curriculum for the students. So our part in that collaboration is to support them in mapping all of these schools around the world, including Africa, including Rwanda, to show what type of connectivity each school has. Another example is our own program, which we call Connect to Learn, where we typically collaborate with our own customer operators, and we provide specific focus on certain schools where they can get, connectivity and also the digital equipment necessary to run its course. So we are already, investing in this continent because we really believe in its incredible potential. Africa in general has a very young and dynamic population, and we can see that translated in the traffic growth, both in terms of voice and data services. We believe in the method, we call it Imagine Possible, because basically when you do digitization and when you have wireless connectivity that enables you to have near real-time monitoring and management of all types of assets, hundreds of thousands of sensors collecting data, supporting you to make automatic decisions. This is basically the commitment of a technology such as 5G. Then really you open the door for a lot of opportunities for industries and enterprise to benefit from it. This is really the pivot that we see coming in with 5G. And ourselves, we are following that model. So in Ericsson, we have opened a manufacturing plant that delivers 5G radio, which is fully depending on the latest automation technology, the latest sustainable energy, as well as 5G. We are a big, proponent of the Rwandan vision because it really puts, digitization as a very important part of that. And we can see that everywhere it is being done, there is a direct positive impact in terms of the uptake of technology and the times of positive returns, productivity and otherwise, to industry as well as society. So we are an active member of the community here. We collaborate with our customers and our partners to ensure that we at all time bring the latest ideas, from global. We ensure that we get graduates, people bring in, we grow talent to support us in Rwanda, but also to support us with other neighboring countries. We participate in different, technology events. So really to be an active member of the technology community to drive this forward.
RBA's Olive Netes speaking to Fadi Faron, Ericsson's president of the Middle East and Africa. Now, staying with technology, young entrepreneurs in the technology sector in Rwanda appreciate the infrastructure that has been put in place by the government and its partners that provides room to operate and expand their business projects. We have more on that with Prince Manzi.
Ildefonso Mugwara Karama and Joseph Semafara are some of the entrepreneurs in technology. We introduce technologies in schools, starting with primary schools. We introduce programming, robotics, and engineering.
Train and outsource in software development. We don't train just to go, we train people and you connect them with their employers.
These entrepreneurs demonstrated having a space to operate in, facilitated the development as well as exposing their services to many. You saw the place we are operating in. It is a large area, and as a startup business, it is something big because renting such a big space, it would not have been possible. But operating here facilitated us in expanding and providing our services to many.
So the importance of training centers or community centers or any center that is around that is helping people to use their skills to practice and meet the requirements of the global marketplace. That's the importance of the centers that we have around.
Services provided by these young entrepreneurs impacted some in terms of exposure and also for jobs in various entities.
And when I came, I wanted to upskill myself because I learned that there are a lot of things that they are teaching and I was lacking. So when I came, I was actually doing what you call UI UX design, which is basically in software development, it's a part whereby you design websites or mobile apps, and then you give them to software developers and they implement them. So as the trainings were ending, I had this opportunity, and actually I was employed by the end of the trainings, which was something really incredible.
My training in February and ended them in May, which was at least 3 months. And immediately after finishing the the training, got this amazing opportunity to work with Proslam.
Ayub Sanzinwari, heading the umbrella for Vulnerable Rwanda that established the Agaciro ICT Training Center hosting these youth, demonstrates that it is their responsibilities as non-government organizations to support the government towards ICT development. Actually, we also want the development of the technology sector, and that is why we look for such companies and we give them space for us to align with the government's program of ICT development. We bring in people to train for free, and this results into not being charged for the trainees. In the goals of Vision 2050, Rwanda is determined to be a country with an economy based on technology and to be a center of technology in Africa. Prince Manzi, RwandaTV News.
Now to other academic matters. In Green Hills Academy, a two-day conference named Green Hills Academy Model United Nations has been opened. This conference allows students to identify and debate solutions to the world's most pertinent problems. Shina Teta with more.
The Model United Nations Conference is usually held around the world, bringing together students from different countries where they discuss, through debates, solutions of some of the world's most pressing problems. This time it was organized in Rwanda so that more Rwandan students could participate, as explained by Mary Kareji, who is in charge of organizing this conference.
We are holding our MUN conference here is because we have been attending many MUN conferences in different countries. But for Green Hills, we have decided to host it so that the students from Rwanda can also benefit from that experience, because most of them cannot afford to travel to outside countries to attend these United Nations model debates.
Some of the students who are participating outlined what they expect to gain from the two-day conference.
Well, MUN teaches you so many skills that you need outside of confined classrooms. It teaches you active learning, how to public speak, how to meet new people, how to delegate, and how to have critical thinking skills, which are all things that you need to practice and cannot be taught in theory.
MUN also helps me with understanding our world as a whole, because a lot of the topics revolve around current world problems such as nuclear weapons, poverty, lack of access to education, etc. And I feel like it really helps understand this entire notion of how important these global issues are to us as individuals.
The United Nations Children's Fund representative in Rwanda, Juliana Lindsay, says that finding solutions to existing problems is everyone's responsibility and should not be reserved for some.
If we leave decisions just up to national interest that thinks only about one small group and not the rest of the world, we won't find solutions to the problems that we're trying to solve.
The Green Hills Academy Model United Nations Conference is being participated in by about 320 students representing various schools across the country. Shina Teta, RTV News.
So we've come to the end of the news, but stay with Rwanda Television as the programs continue. I hope you had a great week. I hope you have a great weekend ahead of you. Goodbye.